Good evening, everybody. Uneducated economist here. So I've been really trying to wrap my head around negative interest rates and mortgages and depositors' money and what everything's going to be like if we go into this negative interest rate world. Like everything in the economy is now negative. And I'm trying to try and envision like a $400,000 house. And say you have this $400,000 house and you're going to sell it and you're going to carry the contract. It has a negative 1% interest rate and you're going to do it over the course of 30 years. So over the course of 30 years, as this house gets paid back at a negative 1% interest rate on a $400,000 loan, you will get paid back $295,000 because it has a negative interest rate attached to it. And now as most people get their payments in, they would probably reinvest those payments. But let's say you put them into a box and you held on to all those payments in cash until you had $295,000 over the course of 30 years. Now that $295,000 over the course of 30 years is going to lose purchasing power due to inflation. And if you go by the average inflation for the last 30 years and you apply it to the $295,000 30 years from now, you would find that it's about $140,000 worth of purchasing power today. So you sell a house for $400,000 with a contract that has a negative 1% interest rate over the course of 30 years and get paid back $295,000. Wouldn't it be better to find somebody to give you $295,000 today? And then better yet, because you're going to get $295,000 30 years from now, wouldn't it be better just to go ahead and get the $140,000 of purchasing power that you'll have today? Is this not deflationary? Now, of course, nobody would hold on to the $295,000 in cash until the duration. Most likely they would invest it. So it is a hypothetical situation, but really, this is what we're talking about. I mean, we're talking about a $400,000 house with a negative 1% interest rate over the course of 30 years, paying back $295,000. And $295,000 would have the same purchasing power as $140,000 today. So it makes sense to go ahead and sell the house for $140,000 and have the cash than it would be to try and take out a negative interest rate carried contract. Anyway, that's what my mind spins on. I'll leave some links down in the description for the calculators that I used. Uneducated economist. You guys let me know.